What is up, Sooner Nation, Sooner softball fans? Welcome back to Sooner Surge post-game instant reaction to the 2-run rules on this Saturday. What a beautiful day for softball. And Sooners get 2 more wins, up to 71 straight, as CJ Bunker says. Bam, 71 straight. The bats are firing right now, Hunter. Both games, bats were great. May had a good bounce-back performance. Maxwell there in the end, that was kind of weird, but hey, 15-3 final, 71 straight, Hunter. And I mean, looking at their schedule, I think we're going to see quite a few run rules on the next 2 weeks, Hunter.
Yeah, that number is going to continue to rise. Right now, you're at, I believe, 10 out of 18 run rules. Over the next few weeks, you got a few midweeks in there. Kind of a rarity at times in softball. So a few more mid-majors that you'll go against. That will boost the run rule totals there. And then, I mean, it's just so hard to doubt this team. Anytime you think that, okay, maybe this is the one, they just prove you wrong. Today, obviously, that wasn't the case at all. They were just dominant from start to finish.
And Patty's almost like just playing with things lineup-wise. I mean, Boone's lead off, Coleman ninth, one game. The next game, they switch it all around. Same with Brito, Jennings. It doesn't really matter where you put them in order. I will admit, CJ, what he says here. Boone's been on fire. She's been great all year. Outstanding. But
yeah, that is one thing that shocked me is how much the lineups have changed. Even though it probably should.
I remember you before the season. You didn't.
Yeah, I was adamant that it was you would kind of stick to a lineup. But I mean, Fatty Gasso, the reason why she's so great is her ability to change things up to constantly improve it.
Yeah, Retro Reggie's asking, what's Tiare Jennings' magic number to catch Chamberlain? Going into the year, one at 23, Hunter. I believe going into the season. Jeremy, we cannot hear you. Cannot hear a word you're saying. You sound like a chipmunk. Please, yeah. 23 was the number, right? Going into the year?
I think that's it. Let me go find it.
So she hit another bomb today, which was an absolute missile. The one she had hit out of the
that ball. I thought it was going to go out of the park. It was to the last row of left center. That ball, it was just one of those that as soon as it's hit off the bat, you know that ball's going to carry a long ways.
Robert says Sooners hitting going to have to win close ones. Maxwell even got knocked. Here's what I'll say, and I don't think this is really a shock to anybody, but I think Maxwell and May both have the ability. I don't know if that's the right word, but they've in their career they've allowed home runs. That's kind of been and I mean, I wouldn't say like a lot, but that's one of their issues is home runs. And you saw it. And I don't know what it is about Love Field, man. Call it Coors Field or what. The ball is flying out of there, man.
Yeah, it is. Tiare Jennings has 17 home runs shy.
17 shy.
Right
to
now.
tie?
To tie, yes. 18.
Okay. 18 to break it. She'll break it.
And I'm not 100% sure if that includes today's game or not. From the list I'm looking at it.
And CJ's right. Coming in that situation, I don't even think – I mean, you cannot be – I don't think you can be as focused when you're at 15-0. I mean, maybe you can, but I just don't see how you could be. So I'm not worried either, CJ. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it, but I think it doesn't matter what the score is. This entire staff is going to be as focused as possible.
Yeah. Sanders got a home.
Sydney Sanders had a really good
Ludlam and Baum. I mean, Ludlam continues to impress.
I don't know if you can hear me, guys. Can you hear me
better? We can hear you now. You don't sound like a chipmunk. It's kind of nice.
Hey, look, Sanders knows she's going to have to continue to produce because Ludlam played first base the first game and hits that opposite field laser out the right field wall. It is interesting, guys, the difference in amount of home runs at this stadium. There is Plank was talking about maybe a jet stream out to that right field side, but the measurements, you would think it wouldn't elicit that kind of response, but there's been bombs, dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird that a stadium just being a couple hundred yards south could make all that difference, but it seems like it has so far.
Yeah. CJ says Deal remains solid. That's 3 good outings in a row from Deal. 3 shutout ball. I mean, that's great. And if she continues to pitch like that, I mean, that gives you 3 really, really good starters, right? And I like that they brought Keeney in, kind of let her, get another inning in there. So all in all, a great day of softball. 2 run rules,
Yeah.
bats were clicking. So
Yeah, Deal started to struggle in that 4th inning, but to be able to get out of it without
Huge.
allowing a run it's impressive. She's having a really good year for the Sooners, and yeah, like you mentioned, 3 really good starters right now, and I mean Keeney and Monticelli aren't even truly starting that often. You could get that up to 5 if need be.
Well, I don't know if they'll start very often the rest of the year.
I don't
just
think Monticelli or Guerin or SJ will start often this year.
Yeah, CJ says Plank was joking about it being a homer hitter's park after just 3 games. And that is the thing, 3 games. But here's the thing: over the next 2 weeks, you're playing a lot of games at Loves Field, and I think OU is going to be on a tear offensively with who they play and the way they're swinging it right now. I mean, they play some teams that they are gonna just destroy. Hunter. I mean, they are. In fact, I was looking at the schedule. I don't think they're tested again until Baylor.
Yeah, that I was talking to Germ about that earlier.
Yeah, that's their next test.
The next big test. You count it up to the Texas game, they have the chance to have 90 consecutive wins going into that big time series on ESPN
against Texas
in Austin. That's going to be a tough one to win, but I mean, I was talking about it earlier. Even when you start to doubt this team, they just prove you wrong. Anytime you think, okay, this might be the one, it's so hard to try to predict when that next loss will be because they just find ways to win every single day.
You're right. And you can pretty much look at their schedule, though, coming up, and with who they play, they're not going to be facing a really, really, really good pitcher. I mean, they're going to put up runs like crazy, I think.
Yeah.
Over the next few weeks.
I'll be a stretch.
Poncho says Riley Boone is my player of the year right now. She won't win it because of home runs, but she's playing better than anyone. I agree. Right now, Poncho Jack, it's hard to argue that she's not playing the best. I mean, when you need a hit, she gets it. No matter where they put her, she does great. She's been great on the base paths too, which we haven't really talked about. She's been really good. Big Orange, they are rude. You're right. OU softball, they don't take any prisoners, baby. Hey, Teresa.
He was talking about Tennessee, Bama.
I thought he was talking about OU softball rude because they don't take any prisoners. I took that the wrong way. Hey, Teresa says, anyone here been to Love Field? I've been by. I have not seen a game there yet. That's my next thing is to go see a game there. It does look amazing on TV. It's a great ballpark, man. And CJ, you're right. You can go look at the scoreboard of softball right now. Good teams are losing all over the place. That's something OU has not done. They have not lost.
Oklahoma just finds ways to win. Even yesterday, when Miami jumped out to an early lead and then tied it back up in the 7th, they walk it off the Kinsey Hansen home run.
And Douglas, I've tried. Before the season, I tried. I'll try again now. But I did try a few times. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. Bama lost today. Jeremy says. Robert says, seen 10 games so far. Coaches taking out pitchers too early and lost their game. Are you talking about other teams taking out pitchers too early and losing the game? Or are you talking about
other teams? OU hasn't lost.
I think that must be what he's talking about. Robert.
Well, softball's interesting because you can take a pitcher out and then put them back in.
Yeah, it's a weird deal. Hey, and let me say something right now.
I like that, bro. I like it.
Let me say something right now. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. So give me about 1 minute here to just kind of go off subject, okay, Hunter? And then you can tell me what you think. But I'm already done with it. I'm done with the reviews. I'm over it, okay? The reviews are silly. Hunter, I do not care at all if a player leaves the bag a split second early if there's no play at the plate. Like Hunter, listen.
I get what you're saying on it.
No, listen. If there's a play at the plate and it's close, review the thing. If there's not even throw home, why are you reviewing it? There wasn't even a play there. I don't care if she left a millisecond too early.
I don't mind looking at it. I mind the time that it takes.
No, I don't even want to look at it, Hunter. Why look at it if there's no play?
It's a rule. Like as
Jeremy, stop. Jeremy, you're silly too. I said it's a rule. I don't care what the rule is. They've never reviewed it before. That's always been a rule.
Now they're allowed more replays. So
well, to me, you can't be reviewing that unless there's a play at the plate or play in the bag or whatever. That's silly.
Patty challenged it yesterday. Same type of deal. So
Poncho says they get the choice on what to review. Is he saying the coaches are picking this every time?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry. If I'm a coach and I'm down 15 runs or 13 runs, I ain't reviewing that.
Okay. Why should coaches not do it though? They're allowed to do it and it could save a run. Like why not?
Because I don't care if it saves or whatever. I mean, there wasn't even a play at some of these plays. I mean, they're looking at it. I don't get it.
Pitching issues and isn't playing anyone.
I agree. They haven't played anybody this weekend. Miami of Ohio was a good hitting team, but they haven't played stiff competition this week other than Miami of Ohio. I wouldn't say pitching issues, Johnson. I really wouldn't say that. Now, I will say this, and I think this is fact. Just go watch. If you watch the game today, Nicole May, she looked different today. Why? Because there was no pressure. There was no tenseness, nothing. When she can pitch freely and she's not worried about who they're playing or the tight situation, she pitches good. But any type of pressure, I don't think Nicole May pitches good. I will say that. I'm not afraid to say that. Hunter, would you agree or disagree?
I get what you're saying, but I think Nicole May is a really good pitcher.
I think she's a good pitcher. I don't think she's great.
There's a lot of options to where I feel like it makes it even harder to judge with how many options they have in the circle.
And by the way, the ones that are saying pitching issues as far as like issues in general, I mean, go look at their stats. It's not issues. Now,
OU has a team ERA of 0.73 right now.
Yeah. Now, you want to say that you want to say this weekend,
everybody. That's fourth in the country.
Yeah, I mean, you want to say this weekend they allowed a lot of home runs? Yes, that's bad.
It did, but Miami, has the most home runs in the country. That has to be acknowledged. That's cap type of matchups, I would say. Yeah, that's going to be a good game tonight. CJ says May is either really good or really bad. There seems to be no middle. I think it all depends on who they play and if it's a really good team. See,
Hunter, why do you always put your hand back and you're like, I don't know about that?
The really bad part is how many games has Nicole May lost in her career? I think it's
I don't care, Hunter. I'm not. That doesn't care. I don't bother.
But that's not bad. That might not be great. I would say really good or average.
But Hunter, against really good or pressure situations, she hasn't been good. And Johnson
game this year.
Because of the bats.
It's a team sport, Jay.
I agree, but hey, Johnson says they are playing average teams. I think if you look at their schedule in general, you could say average, but they've had some good competition they've played and they won it. So you do have to say that. They did win games that was against good competition. Is their overall schedule just average? Probably. And over the next 2 weeks, Johnson, you're going to see more average because it's pretty bad the next 2 weeks of who they play. They're going to destroy people. Hard to lose games when you score a ton of runs, Jeremy says. I mean, he's not wrong. You score a lot of runs, you're going to win. I don't care how bad the pitching is in certain games, right? OU beat Duke and Washington. They beat Mississippi State, having a pretty good year. Wisconsin's down. But they've had a good – I mean, they've played Yeah, you're right. They will. Hey, Johnson, there's a chance they can run rule about 75% of these games up to Baylor. I mean, the competition's that bad, I think. But Baylor's their next test. It's at Love Field. I think they might play one in Hall of Fame Stadium in Oklahoma City, but they're home. And so I think those are probably, they win that series too. I think looking at a game they might lose would be Texas. That would be on my radar as a game they could lose in the future here.
Yeah, Texas is a top 3 team in the country. They played really well all year, rivalry game. That's one to watch, but at this point, predicting the losses, I'm not even going to try it anymore. I don't know if they can get to 100. That's just so unlikely, in my opinion, even though I think I'm going to be wrong on that take. Like, this team proves everybody wrong day in and day.
And that's a good point, CJ. When the bats were down, the pitching was outstanding. So, I mean, that's a great point, CJ. And, hey, looking at today, Hunter, I mean, what would you say out of these two games? I think we both expected it's going to be run rules, but what would you say maybe stood out to you the most? What about Maya Bland today? I mean,
Maya Bland had a really good day. Jada Coleman has had a really good weekend. And a lot of people were doubting her. And then she even got moved down in the lineup, which was not one I expected there. But the lineup, I'm not going to question it any longer. I'm just going to bite my tongue on it and be wrong, because it works when they make those changes. Moved Jada today in that lineup and had a good day. 1 for 2 and 9. And then second game leading off 3 for 3. So.
Hey, Liberties, they've kind of fallen off from last year. They're not nearly as good as they were last year.
Well, last year they took Oklahoma to the end,
1-0,
and Carly Keeney is now on Oklahoma.
Yeah, they don't have the pitching at all.
Yeah, the pitching makes the difference for them.
Robert says, how many other teams are playing Sooner? Yeah, there's not.
And right now, RPI isn't out yet. I've been trying to find it. But one of the strength of schedules I'm looking at, it says, I'm not sure on how reliable it is, what their formula is. OU was listed number 1 on that. So the strength of schedule, they're playing the teams on their schedule. They started it off with Duke, Washington. Then at the very nutter, you play Mississippi State, you play Wisconsin. Like, they've played good teams, and they're 18-0.
And
what else can you ask for?
Yeah, Teresa says she likes the lineup for this last game. Hey, one thing, I may be wrong, but I'd have to look it up. But is that the first game they've had Hanson, Ludlam, and Sanders all playing?
Which game are you talking?
They had Hanson as the catcher. Ludlam, I believe, as the extra hitter, and Sanders at first base.
Against Liberty, Ludlam DH'd.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They played all 3.
Yeah, they did.
And they set Ella Parker. Usually Ella Parker would play in that position.
I think you're going to see Ludlam in the lineup a lot more.
Hey, Michael says that Sydney Sanders leading everyone in the walks. I think that's something she's always been good at. She's very good, has a really good eye.
The entire team is patient at the plate.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now. And this is me, used to play baseball, softball, whatever. Played it all. I would have a very hard time up 13-0 taking a walk if I'm an OU player.
Why?
And they do it. They do
Why?
it. Why?
I feel like it's easier to take a walk at that point.
Because I want to swing the dang bat.
But you're not having to swing for the fences as much.
Oh, I don't think I could do. I don't think I could be as patient as some of them.
Maybe it's a personal preference, but
hey, if it's 13-0 and the ball's anywhere near me, I'm swinging. But Poncho says 2 straight games Sanders proved you all wrong, even the fans. Now, real quick, Poncho, Jeremy's not on here.
It's y'all as in Jeremy. Y'all.
Jeremy's been the one that's on Sanders. He's been all over Sanders. So I think you're directing that mainly towards Jeremy.
Sydney Sanders reached base every time she came to the plate today. Hit my pitch, 2 for 2, a walk in the second game. So, yeah, impressive day for her. and that's one to watch, like position battle wise. Riley Ludlam's hard to keep off the field.
She's hitting it too well right now.
Yeah, she's hitting very well. And then also the rest factor that it could provide to Hanson at times. Sometimes get her break behind the plate.
Hey, one thing I want to talk about, we haven't talked about yet. I think it's too hard to keep Torres out of second base. I think she needs to be almost every day second base.
One of my big takeaways from the first game was
Yeah.
the play she made at second. I mean, you're making a sliding play, throw off the knee, throw them out at first. I mean, it was close. That should have been a base hit, and she stole it from her.
I think she needs to be the starter in 90% of the games.
When you are making plays like that with the leather, it's hard to keep you. I feel like that's the only concern there is with Torres is Hodge has the advantage on defensive side of the ball, and then you have Torres just making plays like that. It's going to start snowballing. Those impressive plays.
Poncho's asking who starts tomorrow. I would guess it's either going to be Maxwell or it's going to be Keeney.
I'm going to go Keeney.
I think it's one of the two.
But Maxwell did come in. Each got an inning today in the Liberty game, so it could be.
I think it'll be Maxwell, and it may be Maxwell, especially the way she ended it tonight. They may be like, "We're throwing you out there." Started, but I think it'll be Maxwell or Keeney. That's true. Michael says in baseball we didn't want to walk because it counted against your batting average.
When did it count against your batting average?
I think he's saying because you have less at bats or something.
It doesn't affect it. It doesn't change it. It doesn't count as an at bat. Like it's not improving it, yes, but I mean it improves your on base percentage. I would say that's just as important, if not more important than batting average.
Hey, right now through 18 games, that's almost. I mean, I may have to look at. Is that right at a third of the way through the year? It's about. It's close.
A little under. You're going to play. Well, regular season. It's
close. So you're sitting about a third of the way through the year. Who's the MVP of this team right now?
Are you talking offensively?
Let's talk offensively first.
Offensively, I feel like you have to go Alyssa Brito.
I think you'd have to go Brito, but Boone is right there, man.
Yeah, Boone.
But Brito, I think, would get.
Tiare Jennings has had a really good year.
But Brito's batting. Brito's batting close to 500.
Cassidy Pickering's been really good. Ella Parker's been really good.
Yeah, Brito's almost at 500 batting average. I mean,
let's see what it's.
I think she was 460 something going in today, maybe, and she was 3 for 3 the first game.
Yeah, 460 following the first game.
Okay, so I mean, she's close to 500. That's insane.
2 for 2 or 1 for 2 in the second game.
So about 465.
Yeah, it's going to go up a little.
What's Boone hitting right now?
Following the first game, 452.
See, they're right there together.
And then Boone went 1 for 2 as well.
Yeah, so they're both batting close to 500. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's impressive. This team, I mean, what they do. First game, I was impressed with the 3 doubles in the first inning, hit to the exact same spot.
Oh yeah,
like that's a special kind of talent that JT Gastos has been able to implement with this entire roster to be able to put the ball in the exact same place 3 times in 1 inning.
That's right, Hunter. Who would you say right now, pitcher of the year for Oklahoma? I think it's Maxwell.
Maxwell on the inning side of it. I think if Keeney had as many innings, I would go Keeney.
Possibly. I mean, I'm going Maxwell. I think she's been as good as
advertised. That's a safe answer, and I think it's very well be the right answer.
I mean, did you notice May today when she started that game, how fast she was working and just clicking?
Yeah.
And yesterday in between pitches, a lot slower, just more deliberate. I'm telling you, it's the pressure situation. She just doesn't seem to get through that very well, man. And I think nothing better would happen is if OU were somehow in the championship game this year of the World Series in May, pitched a Jim to win it. I mean, that would be for her to close her career out like that. I don't think that would happen, but
yeah, I think it's hard to not imagine May getting a start
Okay, but she's not getting it. If the game's on the line and you got to
Well,
win out, I think she's getting it.
So Nicole May, you expect OU to win it in 2 games. You don't expect them to go to a game 3. So May would be start either the first game to open it, which that's what your ace starts, or the second game to win it. Either or, it's a high pressure situation.
CJ says tomorrow's the World Series game 1. Who you going? Maxwell? I'm going Maxwell.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably where you would have to go.
I agree. And Michael, you're right. Their hitting is getting better. They're hitting a groove right now. They got to Love Field. The groove is happening, and they're going to start destroying people. I would not want to play them right now. And these teams that are playing them, one of them, I don't even know the name of the team. I've never even heard of them. So they're going to get destroyed.
Robert, that is very true. Texas series will tell you a lot. But
that's true. That's a good point, Robert.
There is a lot you can gather through 18 games, just how good Oklahoma has been. But the other thing with the World Series question, who are you starting game 1? I don't know. I feel May is going to get that nod.
No, game 1 is the biggest game of the series.
But I think May gets it on the fact of
no way, Hunter. No
None
way.
of the other pitchers have played in the World Series championship game.
Hunter, I don't care. There is no chance she's starting game 1 in the World Series, bud.
I don't know about
if it was tomorrow, you would start her over Maxwell.
I'm not saying that is necessarily the right thing to do. I'm thinking from how I think Patty Gasso and Jen Rocha are going to approach it, as she is the one that has played in that game before. None of these other pitchers have.
Yeah, and hey, you're right, CJ. They're playing Popcorn U as well. So
Texas has had. I think I wouldn't say Texas has had a bad schedule so far. I wouldn't say OU has either. I think both have had good schedules. They've played the teams on their schedules. They've looked dominant through this point of the season.
I think every team right now, you play a few good teams and then you play a lot of bad teams. I think that's the way it is right now.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. That's right. You can't play everybody that's really good.
Baseball works. I mean, you have to. These small schools have to get funding some way to be able to keep their programs up and running, and that includes playing the big-time teams.
Hey, a few minutes left here on this live. Is this maybe the biggest surprise of the year? Is Hannah Core not getting hardly many at-bats at all? I mean,
I think the back issue is still.
Do you think it's going to change at all this year, or that's going to be her role? Pinch hit.
It's hard to imagine that, but right now you're 18 games through the season. Tomorrow you'll be 19 games through the season. But Patty does change it up. But I think if we're to be completely healthy, then that would start to change some.
Yeah, and who would you put her in for right now? I mean,
that's the question. Ella Parker. I mean, you have the whole. We talked about Riley Ludlam. How hard it's going to be to keep her out of the lineup. Then Sydney Sanders had a really good day today. That's who Ludlam would be playing for. Ella Parker has been really, really good as a true freshman. Cassidy Pickering as well. Like, it's so hard to keep. I'm glad I'm not making that decision of picking 9.
Hey, that's a great thing. We'll look into it. I need to see that with the way the tickets are. Game 1, Retro says game 1 of the championship series goes to Deal. I'll say this, though. If Deal continues her climb the way she's looked the last 3 games and just keeps shutting people down, I mean, who knows? I think Patty Gasso is very big on which pitcher is pitching the best going into the World Series. I think last year, obviously, she just rode Jordy Ball through that thing. Jordy Ball was hot, and Jordy Ball was insane.
Yeah, that's
but Storako last year didn't pitch much in the post, like really when it counted at the end.
That is an interesting thing, because I was going to say I think the senior gets it, but Storako was a senior last year and really didn't get.
Appreciate that, Douglas. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that, Doug. Yeah, Teresa says it. this is what you need to do. Go over there, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. There's two things: like and subscribe. You hit the button. That's all you do. Also, the Fan Stop. Guys, the Fan Stop has awesome Oklahoma shirts. You get them once a month in the mail. You don't even have to drive to a store. They're awesome. And if you use code SURGE, you get 10% off your first 3 months. They're great shirts. They're very affordable. You get them once a month, never leave your couch. It's great stuff. So please sign up for that too. And like and subscribe.
For the March shirt on March 1st. So sign up
Right.
on the 20th. You get it for the next month. And it gets there pretty quick. First few days of the month.
Yeah. And so there you have it, guys. We're at 30 minutes. Just wanted to get here, have a little raw post-game reaction with you guys, as you guys are huge Sooner softball fans, and we love it. We love the community and the comments that y'all put in here all the time. It's great. Couldn't do the lives without your comments, so keep them coming every day as we do these live videos. We really appreciate it. It's going to be another, I would suspect, run rule tomorrow, but can promise you this: after the game's over, we'll be on here to talk about it. So appreciate you guys. OU basketball, go get a win tonight against the #1 team in the nation. Let's see it. Let's end this day off great. Sooner fans, thanks for joining. Till next time, Boomer.